More chaos in the final week of regular season football could help Tennessee even more than last week's results. We got the basket Vols starting off pretty strong. We're talking Tennessee. We're talking SEC. This is Tennessee Fan Talk.
Vols fans, the best fans in football. Rowdy, passionate, dedicated. And this is where Vol Nation comes to talk. Welcome to the hottest spot for all things Tennessee Vols. This is Tennessee Fan Talk, where the orange and white comes to life with a dash of humor, a sprinkle of wit, and a whole lot of Southern charm, bringing you the latest updates, breaking news, and some good old-fashioned laughs along the way. We're the water cooler chat you wish you were having at the office, minus the boring stats. Whether you bleed orange or you're just dipping your toes into the world of Tennessee sports, this is for everybody. It's loud, it's proud, it's Tennessee Fan Talk. And now your hosts, Byrd and The Duke.
Moving up, Tennessee now AP number 6. Coming back from a rough start to beat the strongest Commodore team since James Franklin.
I thought you were going to say since Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's so funny that you say that. Tennessee finishing the regular season 10-2 and moving on is definitely a prayer answered for a mini Tennessee fan. It's December in the year 2024. The Lord our Jesus Christ, as the Duke would say.
That's exactly right.
A couple things to be thankful for. One, Tennessee, the state, along with the rest of the country, has been shown a great mercy. And, of course, it is our job as members of the Bible Belt, right, to live right and show others it's okay to live right. So get out your Advent calendar. Get out your new postseason college football calendar. Get out your basketball calendar. Join the Duke, Byrd, and Vols fans everywhere to celebrate this December the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ and our beloved Vols. Thank you for listening to another episode, Tennessee Fan Talk.
So some might say, speaking of Jesus, I've always wondered, has Danny White repaid the sins of Philip Fulmer back in 98 to win us a national championship, or has he doubled down with the devil and said, hey, make all of our teams good?
Oh, you got to wonder about that. Because, yeah.
I mean, we're still paying for our sins for Philip Fulmer, you would think, and every terrible hire afterwards. But maybe Danny, DW, not Darryl Waltrip, Danny White went down and, just said, hey, Mr. Devil, how about this? And one good year, and then we're back in trouble.
I would like to think that debts have been paid. And we're
moving I would have to think so.
We don't need to spend 40 more years in the wilderness. We don't.
No, for sure.
Got to talk about the Commodore game. Starting issues. The starting issues. So, first off, a little context. I know the Duke was traveling during this because I get this text of, you better not tell me anything. I don't want to know nothing.
I said that for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to kind of rewatch it myself. Two, I didn't want to be a nervous wreck driving back from the boot, the butthole of America, Louisiana.
And the minute that we allowed the starting kickoff to come back, I almost texted you and said, we're going to lose.
That's my MO normally. I'm normally the guy watching on the back patio, drinking a couple beers, and we get one they tackle us behind the line of scrimmage for one running play, and I'm like, we're going to lose. I have the worst BVS in the world.
So can you imagine your BVS watching live, allowing a return, losing a fumble, and a turnover on downs? Not consecutively, but pretty close. And going down 17-0.
Yeah. Yep. I would already put the shotgun in my mouth, and I would have thought about pulling the trigger.
And towards the end of the game, we have 538 yards of offense, only allowing 212. It crazy how it turned around once they got going, right?
Sure. I mean, I saw an interview before, like a couple of days before, that Diego Pavia has that dog in him. It looked like it was a Shih Tzu. I mean, what, he had one big play? That's the kind of dog he's got in him, as a Shih Tzu.
I said it last week. You stop Pavia, you stop the whole thing.
His name would go fantastic on a taco joint.
Pavia tacos.
No, Diego Pavia tacos.
Couple things we don't like is 102 yards of penalties. Some of those bogus. Right? Like, so when he goes and picks up that midget of a quarterback, what's he supposed to do? Set him down nicely? No.
I'm supposed to just pat him on the head. Good boy. Good boy.
There was still no calls. No holding calls. No hands to the face on Pierce. Multiple times, they show the replay showing something else, and you're like, oh, my God, look at the hands into Pierce's face, and they're not calling that.
Tinfoil hat time. NCAA's got the fix out. They were trying their best to keep us out because we won the lawsuit.
It was
That's
almost. Tinfoil. It was. If you look at the demeanor of the head ref, they're calling it. You see his face at the end of it when they knew there was no coming back, and it was just like offsides, Vanderbilt. It's like it changed drastically.
Well, he probably had a bonus. He probably had a bonus on the line. If Vanderbilt won, he got an extra $25K slid his way.
3 for 3.
I don't know.
3 for 3 in the red zone, 11 for 15 on third downs. Gotta love that. 5 tackles for loss from the defense, 3 of which were sacks, and allowed 0 sacks on Nico. He owned that backfield and could do whatever it is he wanted.
Well, it's kind of like the Tennessee fans owning Vanderbilt Stadium, right? I mean, that's
I can't tell you how many times they were going, every
Neyland Central.
80% Vols fans here. It's kind of like listening to one other game that I want to talk about. They kept repeating.
If we were ever, if we ever get to play Memphis, we'll have Neyland on the West Coast too. We'll have it covered.
My most important takeaway was this: downfield shots were made. Finally, not looking at the play-by-play afterwards and seeing short pass. Finally had.
I guess you could. I mean, I could caveat off of that. The takeaway would be maybe our offense has put it together. Finally, it's all been put together. And I have a huge spin zone that I was thinking about earlier today.
Okay.
It's a huge spin zone because obviously the new playoff standings have not came out yet, but the last time they had the playoff standings, we were supposed to be playing Georgia in the first round, correct?
Which I hated.
So I don't know if you watched that special on Greg Maddux when he played the Astros in the middle of the year. And I can't remember if it was Craig Biggio or who it was. Anyway, Javi Lopez was talking, and they knew not to throw it inside because they would hit a bomb. Actually, I don't know if it's Craig Biggio or Jeff or Bagwell. I can't remember who it was. Anyway, they threw it inside of this guy, and he hits a bomb. And they were walking off the field, and Javi Lopez was like, "Hey, Maddux, I thought we talked about not throwing this guy inside. He hits a home run." He's like, "Oh, we'll see them later." So maybe, and then they played him in the playoffs later. So my spin zone, this is crazy Vol spin zone. I know it's like 10.
That's steel plate in the head. That's
is that we I'm not saying we threw the game, but we didn't play very good against Georgia in the second half because maybe
the only team to score more than 20.
Show the whole deck of cards.
Right. All right. I think now,
and that is a crazy spin zone. That's not true, but I thought it was funny.
I think now with Ohio State's loss, we won't be playing Georgia in the first round.
Oh yeah, no. I suspect I saw it all over Twitter that people think that it's going to be at Neyland, which would be crazy. Which I would love to attend, but I'm not going to pay those bills. I would have to think it's going to be flip flop. We're going to go to
somewhere cold,
Ohio and Columbus. Columbus. It's going to be cold in Knoxville too. I mean, it ain't going to be like Ball's cold in Ohio, but it's going to be pretty cold in Knoxville.
Last week,
depends on kickoff time too. They'll probably give us the noon game.
probably. Last week, other than being all by my lonesome, and about 3 more minutes from now, we wrapped up the episode because I didn't have anybody to band.
That was a 2-minute drill. 2-minute drill. Birds, 2-minute drill.
Boom, boom, boom. On top of picking every game that we picked, which it was just 4 that we put on there because the other ones didn't matter. Me getting all those correct. I also had Tennessee at 34-14, which ended up okay. An okay pick there. Around the SEC, Egg Bowl, of course, was no shocker, but the Georgia Tech, oh my goodness, staying up till 11, a little after 11 on that one. Why? Here's my question. Why would the AP, which I know what you're going to say, it doesn't matter, it's the AP. Why would but that's all we have right now. Why would the AP have them moving up a spot after you have to go 8 overtimes with Georgia Tech? And I don't want to hear just because Ohio State's lost that everyone just kind of moved up. People could have stayed the same.
Oh, sure. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if we dropped.
I mean, Tennessee had no reason to go to 6 in AP. They did not. I mean, they ended up playing great afterwards, right? But they didn't.
Sure.
They started off horrible.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. So what? I mean,
so why
a win's a
move up?
win.
So why move up? 8 overtimes.
Because it's a rivalry game, and all bets are off in a rivalry game. I've been hearing that for years. Unless your rivalry games are Kentucky and Vanderbilt, all bets are off. Ricochet shot for the Wildcats out there that got destroyed by Louisville.
South Carolina over Clemson, huge. A&M shows its issues. And now Georgia will play Texas again. Now, here's my question. With the game being in Atlanta, how well will Texas travel, right? And can Kirby Smart and company beat Sark again?
It just depends on what Beck shows up. Is it the Beck that played against us? Or is it the Beck that went out drinking at the Buddha Bar and was getting his breakfast at the Golden Corral for something greasy? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know that answer. Hopefully it's the latter, because I would love Texas to win to cause chaos.
Yes.
Give Georgia 2 losses or 3 losses.
3 losses.
I know they're not going to penalize them.
But they should.
If let's just throw out there a hypothetical. If let's say Georgia lost and they dropped them out of the playoffs,
doesn't that open the door to Alabama?
I would rather. No. See, my spin zone is South Carolina.
Oh,
put them in there because everybody's on South Carolina's dick on their cock. No pun intended right now. Because they're the hottest team in America. They won 6 in a row. They almost beat Alabama. Well, we did. They, blah 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 blah. They almost beat Ole Miss. Blah, cry me a river. Call. Blah 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 blah. So
you sit them.
I'm just saying I would rather us have to run up against a South Carolina than I would a Georgia or an Alabama. That's all I'm saying.
6-3 in the conference, which still puts them above everybody else.
And they beat who? South Carolina or Georgia?
I'm talking about Georgia. Georgia would be, with the loss, they would be 6-3.
Sure. Yeah, no, I know. I mean, just like, they'd be in front of everybody but us in Texas.
Correct.
Do they drop below us in seeding?
If
they lose.
That would be nice.
I mean, would it be nice? Though?
Or we have the home game and Georgia comes to us.
No. I mean, I want to take I would rather play, for sure, I would rather play Indiana. We beat them bums. SMU, we beat those. We beat them bums.
You want to go the path of least resistance.
You'd be stupid not to. Notre Dame, come on down. We'll show up and play there at South Bend to play them. Touchdown, Jesus. Touchdown, Smokey. Come on.
That's great.
I want to play bums. I know there's
for
no
at
real
least
bums.
2 weeks, right?
I'm not. Obviously, there's no real bums in the playoffs, but I would at least the path. Boise. Well, yeah,
There
I guess
are
you got
untested opponents. We'll just say that.
Iowa State. Give me Iowa State if they beat whoever winner of Iowa State and who Arizona State. Right? Is that who it is? Give me either one of those. Come on. Arizona State always has too many white guys on the team. Always.
I don't know if I want to play Ohio State right now. Although you might want to play them in that first round because they should have some suspended players.
Probably. Hey, they're not going to. They're going to. They'll come up with some reason because that's not the NCAA's rule call. That's probably the freaking Big Ten. So I don't know. Give me the ACC and the Big 12, and then I'll take that. I'll take that as a win.
Not much picks to talk about with the SEC only having one more game to be played, while many rest and just wait until December 8th to see where they're going to be. We're going to step away for just a second, take a break. Going to come back, maybe just a sentence or two on basketball because it's so early.
Because we don't know anything else about it.
We at least have to acknowledge it. And then we want to talk SEC championship and a little bit of playoffs.
Wherever you are, we are. And we are at TN Fan Talk. Would you like to be on the show? We'd love to have you. Find our link tree in the show description. No experience or equipment is needed. Now, back to Tennessee Fan Talk. Here's Byrd and the Duke.
Vols. They 7-0. Not a whole lot of big names that they've played. Did have a big win over Baylor, taking home the Baja Mart Trophy. That Lanier, dude. Dalton 2.0. This dude was he was pulling it up from the logos.
Yeah, he was shooting from from Lofton territory.
Dude, he looked good. Of course, Zakai Ziegler, always, he's my favorite. And
oh yeah, because you're the same tall. He's as tall as he is, Bert.
That's right.
That's why.
Yeah, that's my kinfolk right there. We come
short guys that unite.
We stripe fudge crackers, cookies, whatever from the same tree.
Oh, you're a Keebler's. Yep. Yeah, he needs to have an NIL with Keebler.
Yes,
Come
he
on.
does. Yeah.
Hit him up.
Dunkin' cookies. Other than he can't dunk.
He probably can. With like no contest.
That would make me.
I guarantee he's getting rim. We can't do that. I'm 6'1" and I can't barely touch the rim.
Dude,
I can nick it with my finger.
I get all over a Fisher-Price rim.
Well, sure.
Get a little plastic cut,
I think the women's basketball is doing pretty good too, right? I think they're undefeated.
I feel bad.
Google it, Bird.
I feel bad for not knowing that. I would hope that they are because, we hadn't started conference play yet. So I would hope.
I mean, I know the last game they played, I know they scored 102 points, I think what it was.
Wow.
At the same time, I would rather watch paint dry than watch women's basketball. I've said it a million times. I'll say it 1,000,001. I can't. It just bores me. Speaking of basketball, though, I think we need to get Danny involved and put the state of Tennessee back on center court. Everybody else is going back to their old school logo. Throw the state of Tennessee back in the middle of the court.
Do it.
And don't give me that crap where it's a different color wood. Paint it orange.
I wouldn't mind going with that digital floor like Kentucky.
What do you mean by that? I haven't seen it. Do I need to try to Google it real quick?
Oh,
Kentucky basketball.
You most certainly. If you have not,
I wonder will I get flagged if I put in Google Rupp Arena?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Maybe flagged.
Who cares?
That's right.
I mean, they can't flag me too hard because my freaking give credit where credit's due. This 2012 circa Apple laptop is still fantastic. Oh yeah, see, you call that digital? I just call that a different color of stain. That's what I call that.
Their new
They stain the wood.
No, their new floor, they can change what the floor looks like at any given time.
See, I don't see what you're talking about.
You need to. I'm gonna have to send it to you. That way, our listeners ain't going. What the listeners? If you hadn't seen it, look at it. It's insane.
So is it just like it's projection from the top, kind of like they do at the Preds game?
It's
no.
This is beneath.
Ain't no
they
way.
Can't project it from top while people are playing. You see shadows all.
So they change it during the game.
They're not allowed.
So
to
what
change
you're saying is they. I'm saying, say during a TV timeout, you don't think they flip that bitch to Kroger?
Yeah, and it's going nuts underneath. yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But they could be playing on, walnut today, maple tomorrow, look-alike walnut today, look-alike maple tomorrow type. It's pretty cool. I don't know how the bounce is. I don't know if it's gonna hurt them that way, but there's a YouTube video of them during their opening. It's pretty cool. Have to check that out. Well, we don't want to spend too much time talking about Kentucky on here.
I mean, I was just thinking it's probably sponsored by the Coal Miners Association.
That's right. SEC championship game next Saturday.
Back in the wheelhouse.
December 7th. 3 Central for us. Mercedes-Benz, Atlanta, Georgia. I've already made my pick. I've already put it in here.
I mean, I hope you would. What's the spread? What's the spread?
Ooh.
I bet it's 7.5. Minus 7.5 dogs.
Man, so as it sits right now,
and I have not looked up, folks. I'm not a big gambling guy. I'm just taking a guess. I bet 7.5.
So Georgia has played Texas 6 times in the past. Once in Atlanta in 1957. They're 2-4 against the Longhorns, with the last meeting, of course, going in Georgia's favor. Georgia, a 23.2 point average margin of victory, third best in the country, and they're 5-8-1 against the spread. Okay,
which is, drum roll, please.
Thus far,
is this MGM? You look at MGM?
FanDuel, of course, according to FanDuel. 67% of the money has gone for Texas.
Okay, what's the spread? Give me the point spread.
And only a 38.5% chance of beating Texas. Texas opened up an early 1.5 point. The total, so it's 49.5.
It's Texas 1.5 minus 1.5.
Yeah,
dude. Nah, Georgia blows the doors off of them again. Hammer, Georgia. Hammer. You better put it in right now. Georgia plus 1.5. Dude, you'd be stupid not to take that.
So is your pick Georgia?
Sure. Heck yes, Georgia. It's criminal. It is a criminal. It should be a criminal charge.
Normally I wouldn't ask for a score, but now I need it.
35-17. Dogs.
I'm
telling you, it is criminal what the SEC has done to Oklahoma compared to Texas this year for their scheduling.
Oh, I agree.
It is crazy. I mean, obviously, Texas had a big game last night against Texas A&M, which I thought Texas A&M were frauds all year long. I mean, Elko's done a great job with what he got. I mean, he had, scraps of Jimbo Fisher and everybody else. I mean, the best team Texas has played this year is Georgia.
And got beat.
And what has Georgia done? And who is the best college football coach in America?
Kirby Smart.
It's not Kirby Dumb. It's not Kirby Dumb. It's Kirby Smart.
That's great.
You know, as much as I want to make fun of the floppy hair guy, he's the best coach in America. Steve Sarkisian is probably still pounding beers under the table.
And
what? If you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one quarterback. Is that what you're going for?
No. Texas. I can't believe I'm saying it. Texas, 38-35.
You're crazy, dude. You have no respect.
You picked A&M last week. You know that, right?
I know that because I thought they were both garbage. And they still, and I mean, freaking Sullivan East High School could have moved the football better than Texas A&M did against Texas. And they still were in the ball game.
They were atrocious.
And they were still in the ball game. Sarkisian, I would hate that offense if I was a Texas fan. It looks like I'm watching the Titans play, and you know how bad they suck? Bubble screen, bubble screen, bubble screen. It's just like the reincarnation of Philip Fulmer. Bubble screen, run up the middle. Oh, 4th and 2, punt.
Yeah. Georgia had a hard time starting, and that's my...
Kirby Smart is the best at giving the spin zone, and he don't have to do that right now because Texas is favorite. He's going to say, "Can you believe this, guys? They are putting you down again." That's like the famous, he's like the Wosam's me kind of guy, getting everybody fired up.
Right.
Can you believe that they're saying this to us again? We're the underdogs again. Show that. Go out there and prove them. Prove them wrong. And then, like I said, if Carson Beck, depends on what kind of Carson Beck we're going to get. Depends on if he goes to the strip club the night before, because he gives me strip club vibe, dude, for sure. He's a strip club guy. He's that kind of guy. You can just look by looking at him. But you know who else is? Quinn Ewers. He's a strip club guy too.
Proven.
Is that proven?
With his EA Sports money.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I mean, you're saying it. I'm just going by the eye test. I always give the eye test, and those both guys are strip club guys. And Atlanta's got some.
I don't want to know how you know that.
I'm just, hearsay, word of mouth.
Oh man. SEC Championship done their playoffs. Gosh, I wish this was Tuesday night at this time instead of Sunday night at this time so that we could talk about where Tennessee is at. We will definitely hit that next week after the SEC Championship. This time next week, we should be done with the final lock of who's going to what bowl and all that others on December 8th.
Are they doing it on Sunday next week?
They are, yeah.
Oh, so we can have a live reaction.
I thought about that, but the show's like an hour and a half long.
And I hate Reese Davis.
Yes.
I hate that guy. He's an Alabama grad. I hate that guy.
You have this list.
You didn't talk. We didn't talk about the other game that you want to talk about freaking Joe Tessitore. You said you want to talk about another announcer. That's the game, right? The Joe Tessitore?
Well, no, the game that I was the Georgia Tech.
That's Joe Tessitore.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he kept the same thing every time.
If we're playing for the playoffs, the win
right here. The thing over and over. I was like, good night.
I love Joe Tessitore. His best work was done on Holy Moly. If you haven't watched Holy Moly, folks, find where you can. I'm about to throw out a word that doesn't exist anymore. Find where you can TiVo that thing and watch it. It will be well worth your time. The new kids call it DVR. I call it TiVo.
You didn't say LimeWire.
Him and Rob Riggle, that is by far one of the best shows I've ever seen on ABC. I can't believe it got canceled. It is Wipeout plus golf. It's fantastic. And Joe Testor's fantastic on. He is now, I think he's got he's big league in this. He's a little big for his britches. He tries to over exaggerate. He's trying to get, is he the next Al Michaels? No.
No. But he does get a little bit better games than Jordan Rodgers.
Well, sure. Jordan Rodgers is on SEC, right? So he's calling Mississippi State versus Akron.
Yeah. I don't even know who those guys were that was calling UTEP.
I didn't even watch it. Hand up. Didn't watch it. Didn't watch a single snap of it. Still haven't.
I did watch the key plays from YouTube television. That's it.
Mm. Rambling here. I know the show's about over with. I had to Google why is it called the Egg Bowl. Had no idea. I still really couldn't find a hard answer. I think it's because whoever made the trophy messed up and it looks like an egg and they called it Egg Bowl. I have no idea. Couldn't get a straight answer. Don't have
from anybody.
I thought it's just because there's a lot of Tyson chicken plants down there. That's what I thought.
Smells like it.
It smells like chicken.
It smells like chicken plants. We got some episodes.
And we ain't talking fried chicken.
That's going to be coming up your way after we get through these SEC championship and while we await the playoffs to start. Overall stats within the SEC and NCAA. We want to talk about players exiting, such as Pierce as a junior. I get that his draft stock's high and he's supposed to go like 25th in the first round. I hope and pray that they check that before he actually declares to see, hey.
I just hope that he doesn't sit out of the playoffs, huh? If somebody did that, that's groundbreaking. But I know we're paying guys nowadays, so it doesn't matter.
I would hope that he wouldn't.
Hit up Haslam.
You don't want him to get hurt, but look, if these big guys, and now granted, and as we talked, there are some hands to the face, some holding going on. Also, if he can't get around these lines in college, I think he needs another year.
Everybody in the NFL is fast.
Exactly. I don't think he's a first rounder. I think he needs to stay in college another year.
Oh, sure. Selfishly, you're saying that.
100% selfishly.
Unselfishly, I'm saying stay too.
We'll have those upcoming episodes in between the two. As for now, thank you for listening to Tennessee Fan Talk. Your Vols, another season with 10 wins, and we're not even to the postseason yet. Got to love the direction that it's heading. As we mentioned at the start of the episode, we don't know whether it's the break of a curse or a deal with the devil or just a new deal. Go Vols.
Big Orange.
You've been listening to Tennessee Fan Talk. It's where the orange and white come to life. If it has anything to do with the Vols, we're talking about it. Thanks so much for listening to the show. We hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. But wherever you are, we are. And we are at TN Fan Talk. Would you like to be on the show? We'd love to have you. Find our link tree in the show description. No experience or equipment is needed. Keep bleeding orange. And see you next time on Tennessee Fan Talk.